Hola, buenos dias, continuous liners. Hi, 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 it's Meagan. Are you there? Are you there with me? Hello, good morning. Muy buenos dias de la ciudad de Guanajuato on this Thursday, November 16th. I'm checking in with you from a little cafe dangling over the streets in Guanajuato. Let me show you where I'm at. Guanajuato, like everything is vertical here, so I'm still trying to figure my way out here. But you see the houses up there? That's where I live, and so I have to climb a mountain every time I want to go home. Or not want to go home, to get home. It's not even like, do I want to go home today? No. To get home, I have to climb a mountain, right? So I was all worried about giving up my bike riding, leaving Mexico City, which I'm still quite sad about. I'm very sad about leaving Mexico City, but that's a story for another day. And I was like, how am I going to get my exercise in Guanajuato? I'm not really one to join a gym. I feel like those days are over. I like to do whatever. But I'm climbing mountains every day, so that's a really wonderful way to keep the glutes in check and keep my legs conditioned, right? So, hi, checking in with you. We've got a continuous line class today, and so we're going to start. I'm going to do some line warm-ups with you. Here's my logo, which means that the continuous line helps connect your heart to your eye to your hand, and it's also been said that these look like tacos, right? So when you draw from your heart with your hand and your eye, it brings you tacos. Or I also like to think of this as a crown chakra, right? So by connecting, when you draw, drawing is a very sacred act, right? And in this day and age, it's more common for people to be like, generally speaking, people to be like, oh, isn't that cute? You like to draw, right? Isn't that adorable? You like to draw things. But honestly, it's a sacred act that really can help all of us manage through these very confusing times. Because here, look, right here, I have this, the benefits of continuous line drawing, right? I wrote it out in cursive writing, which I'm not very good at doing, but the benefits of continuous line is it helps us to push through drawing fears. Oh, you probably see this reverse right now, but you know what I'm saying, right? Push through drawing fears. That's the first thing continuous line drawing does. The second one, it helps us comprehend improved composition, because the more you draw and you go like, oh, well, that cup takes me into that gate, which takes me into that plant, which takes me into that window awning, which takes me into that rooftop lining, which takes me into those distant houses, which takes me into the sky, right? So by practicing continuous line, you get to see how things are connected, and everything's connected, right? So it's a beautiful thing. And then the third thing, it's very simple. It's 3 big benefits. The number 3 is it helps us build confidence, because when you start drawing, and as you start, it's not about drawing accurately, but as things start to make more sense and you feel a little bit more comfortable drawing things in continuous line, it makes you feel better, right? And when you feel better, you go, I'm going to do this again. I'm going to do this again and again and again, because it's super interesting, right? It's super interesting, and it feels good when I draw things that are to my satisfaction, right? It's not about being perfect. It's not about the perfect drawing. There is no perfect drawing, right? And if there is a perfect drawing, and if you feel like you've done a perfect drawing, you probably don't want to be in the continuous line drawing community. Which community, by the way, I want to say thank you and hello. Here, let me take my glasses off for this. Let me let you see the whites or the reds of my eyes, right? Welcome to everyone. We have tipped over 800 participants in the continuous line storytelling, and so I want to say thank you to everyone who's a part of it. Thank you for everyone who's drawing with us and with me and with you and drawing in your world. And thanks to the people who are just checking it out, right? I wish everyone would be drawing with us. And, you know, if you're here, like, just checking out what other people are doing, that's totally fine. But it's a totally safe place for everyone to draw to, right? This is not urban sketching where there's a million rules and manifestos. There's no rules like that, right? Here, you are here. We are here to build line strength and to tell our stories, right? And to be a part of a very fun community. I like to think it's a fun community. So here come the buses. I don't know if you can hear that. I don't think you can. That's the beauty of like this microphone. So here, let me pull that. Here's my ajolote. Oh, here comes my latte, my beautiful latte. Let me put that right over here. Ooh, isn't that beautiful? Muchísimas gracias. All right, so here, can you see this beautiful? It's huge. Look at the size of that. My goodness, this is a little French cafe called La Vie Rose. And it's got these sweet little balconies that overlook the town. And there's Plaza Baratillo, which, by the way, let me have a sip of this. I just did a drawing at Continuous Line at Plaza Baratillo, and I'm going to be posting this on YouTube. Where is it? I'm pretty sure I brought it because I wanted to show it off. Did I forget it? Did I forget to put it in my bag? Oh, no, here it is. Here we go. Here's a continuous line drawing, and then I threw a bunch of stuff at it. But yeah, there's my continuous line drawing of Plaza Baratillo. I'm going to be posting that on YouTube. I put oh, look, here's another one. These are more Guanajuato continuous lines, right? There's the statue La Gigante, which is just over there. Let's see, do I have another Guanajuato one? Yeah, here's the Plaza de la Paz in continuous line, right? So I think Guanajuato is one of the more fascinating subjects as far as being an artist, right? Like, it's just so interesting and charming. And, you know, the architecture here, the color scheme, it's fascinating. And what's also really cool is that there are no straight lines, right? Like this is a university town, and the kids come here to study architecture, law, and music, right? Those are the big things in this city, and it's you know, the architecture here is like no other. It's a Mexican colonial. It's UNESCO protected. It's colorful. They have a whole different color scheme here than they do in San Miguel. And, you know, I heard a really marvelous quote about Mexico saying that it looks like it's been drawn with a very unsteady hand, which is perfect for me. Do I have an unsteady hand? Maybe, right? Like, I'm not about straight lines. I like the wobbly. I like the wobbliness, right? And Mexico seems to embrace the wobbly. I don't know. I don't want to say it embraces, but it just feels like a good place for me to practice my wobbly line. There you go. Salud, salud. Okay, it's getting warm. I've got my alpaca scarf from, it's a gift from Marty McGinnis. She got it in Quito, in Ecuador. Yeah. So, it's not really, I don't really need an alpaca scarf out when it's like, I think it's like 75, right? I mean, honestly, I do get a bit of a chill. All right, without further ado, let me get to it and start making some lines on my page. I'm going to have to test this video later to see how the sound is, because there's buses and traffic running by me. I don't know if you can see it there. You're only going to see a sliver of it. But it can, you know, the thing about Guanajuato is it's a loud town. Mexico is loud, right? The sounds of life. Life is lived out on the streets in Mexico. And, you know, Mexico City, where I just was living, has millions of cafes. And they're all out on the street. And some are quieter than others, right? So I've spent the past 3 years curating my list of cafes where I could do my live streams. Because, you know, Mexico, life in Mexico is loud. Do you see that bus? There goes a big bus. And maybe you can't even hear it, so I'm not going to belabor that idea. But, so yeah, Mexico City had lots of cafes for me to, like, you know, figure out where I would go in early before the crowds came in. And so, you know, it always seemed like I had a whole cafe to myself. Now, the thing about Guanajuato, which is the same for San Miguel too, they don't have the street cafes or street restaurants like they do in Mexico City. Guanajuato is a mountainous region. It's the cradle of independence. It's still pretty old school in the buildings and architecture and industry, if I can even use that word. It's a lot of tourism, right? So in Guanajuato, much like San Miguel, you don't have cafes out on the street. They're up on rooftops, and they're in terrazas, and they're in balconies, and they're maybe in inner courtyards, right? And, you know, it doesn't have the cafe scene here like it does in Mexico, right? Mexico City is a very hot, trendy, cool city to be in. What am I doing here? And, you know, I'm going to explore Guanajuato. Is this going to be where I'm going to be forever? Probably not. Probably not. But I'm going to explore it for the next few months before I figure out where to go to next. And, you know, it's an interesting city with a fascinating history. And there's mummies here. And it used to be like a very super wealthy town because of the silver mining industry that exploded it. You know, I think it was right around the time of America's Gold Rush? I can't even remember exactly when that was. Actually, I think it was before. I think it was in the 1800s, if I remember correctly, because I learned about that at the Mummy Museum, which Guanajuato is known for their mummies. There's something about the chemical makeup of the soil here when these folks died, and they look like they died from horrendous reasons because they're all like, you know, like on the movies, people die like this. Ugh. But, you know, these mummies sort of reflect a more realistic way of dying, and they're like, ugh! They're like caught in the terror, right? I'm sure you've seen those mummies from, where's that place in Italy where they were all caught in the volcano? I want to say Pompeii. I'm getting it confused, but anyways, you know, these folks were like caught in the act of dying, right? Which isn't always like, how does my face look, right? So anyways, the Guanajuato mummies, which, you know, I've been to that museum twice now, and I never need to go back ever in my life because it's pretty creepy. I mean, there's like babies and mothers, and you see their nails, and they have teeth, and they have hair, and in some places, some of their clothes, right? There's something about the chemical makeup of the soil here. It preserved them. And so when the mummies were first discovered here, they kind of took them on tour, and they didn't really protect them, right? It was kind of like a circus thing, like throw the mummies in the back of the truck and let's go take them on tour. Now they're like preserved. I mean, they're still exposed. They're not, you can't touch them, but, and they're behind glass. What am I trying to say here? Oh, so being at that mummy museum is where I learned more about the silver mining industry that blew up Guanajuato and made it a very wealthy town, which is why you see a lot of this like fancy Baroque European-inspired architecture mixed with like crazy Mexican colonial, right? So it's very whimsical in many ways. I feel like this is like Willy Wonka town. It's like Charlie and the Willy Wonka, not even Charlie and it's like Willy Wonka. Things are like crooked and they look like optical illusions. And it's very whimsical, right? So while I could easily focus on why I don't think I want to live here forever, I'm going to use my time to explore the beauty and the whimsy of Guanajuato and see how it inspires my art, right? So, yeah. Hi, everyone. I'm doing some line work here, and I can already tell it's sort of calming me down a little bit because, you know, got up this morning, looked at the news and what's happening. The news, right? And gosh, it's a terrifying world out there right now. There's so many things that seem to be coming, that are happening, that I think, at least in my lifetime, I'm like, I never thought this would happen, right? Well, things are happening politically, environmentally. And so it can be a little daunting to just try to like process what's happening in the world and like stay sane, right? Oh, I just lost my line. And, you know, to just be like, okay, everything's fine. I'm just going to keep doing my stuff. Because you walk out your front door and you go, all right, things don't look so bad. There's the guy selling bread, and there's someone sweeping the streets, and, you know, the bakery just opened, and, you know, I can run to the store and get a few things that I need. And, you know, like, so maybe the thing right around you, it doesn't look so bad, but then you look at the news and you go, oh my God, we're all going to die, right? So it's muy importante to have a bag of tools in your life that will help you just be like, yeah, there's weirdness out there, and there's stuff going on, and, you know, there's like, people are dying, and, you know, wars are happening, and tensions are rising. My God, you see what's happening in American politics? I mean, it's like the Three Stooges. And it's just weird. Like, when I think about when I was a kid, there was like to look at politics or see what's happening, there was always like a bit of protocol and a bit of like decorum, right? Now they're like, they want to wrestle each other, and they're calling each other ridiculous names, right? So it's a bizarre time, right? Like, and, you know, and then these older idiots have the audacity to like claim that the young kids are insane and worthless, and it's like, well, who's teaching them, right? So there's a lot of insanity in the world, and it doesn't seem to be getting any better. It doesn't seem to be calming down, right? So it's importante to find the thing that helps you to calm down, right? Whatever that is. I can get all wound up about things. I'm very much miss Mexico City. I love living there, and so it hits me in a way where I'm just feeling very anxious, right? So I have to find ways to just calm myself down. Like last night, I really just hunkered down and got my art studio in order. And I'm like, you know, if I have a place to make art, if I have a place and a space to make art, I feel better. I feel better when the anxiety is high and I'm unsure of things. I know at this juncture in my life that if I have a place and a space to make art, and if I have people that I can check in with who understand the importance of making art, or whatever it is you do, right? Whatever the thing that makes you feel better, you know, maybe it's gardening, maybe it's cooking, maybe it's walking your dog. I really know that I have to get a dog too. The heartache of not having a dog is like, it's like next level, right? So I have to make changes in my life so that I can have a dog in my life, because it's been too long without a dog now, and you know, I think the world is a less scary place when you have a dog to talk to, or cat, right? When you just have a furry friend who like loves you just for when you walk in the door, right? I mean, that's so important, to have someone who loves you. You don't even have to do anything. You just walk in the door and they love you, right? They're happy to see you. And I think it's important to have that, right? No, you know, some people don't like that or want that. I get it. It's not for everyone. But those of you that have that and know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about, right? So, yeah. I got to get a dog. And I got to figure out where I want to be in the world. You know, just a few things to figure out. You know, I'm happy to be in Guanajuato for a few months to check it out, and we'll see where life takes me after that. One thing I know for sure is I'm going to keep the resources online going because, where's my clip? Let me put my clip on my paper here. It's breezy up here and things are blowing around. I want to be able to check in with my online community and see, you know, like the Facebook group is so awesome. It's over 800 people now, and I never in a million years, I mean, 800 people are not drawing. I wish they would be, but no, that would be a lot of people drawing. I think we're all a part of those groups that are just like, they're so big, you don't even know what the heck's going on, right? So there's a core group of people who participate, and I love that, right? And, you know, the more the merrier to a certain extent. I don't want to be drawing with millions of people online. Well, maybe on YouTube. Maybe you can be. Thank you to everyone who subscribed to my YouTube channel. I got 100 new subscribers, and I'm totally grateful for that. I have a video that I'll be uploading. You know, the thing about YouTube videos is it takes a lot more post-production time. You got to edit. You can't just throw things up. It's not Instagram where you're just willy-nilly throwing things up, right? Well, I shouldn't even say that because I curate my videos. I edit my videos. But they're different for the reels because, you know, generally speaking in my research, the average amount of time that people spend watching reels is 11 seconds, right? So I used to do these minute and a half long reels, and in the metrics and the statistics and the analytics, you know, people would watch it for 11 seconds, right? So it's hard for me to make a reel at 11 seconds, but I no longer do those long, super long ones. I, you know, 30 seconds or shorter, sometimes 15 seconds, sometimes 11 seconds, right? If that's all people are watching, why, you know, spend all this time doing other stuff, right? So on YouTube, I'll be doing more long form video, like drawing, real-time drawing demos, right? So there you have it. Oh, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to scoot back up the hill here because, here, I'm going to, when I looked this morning, there were 808 people in the group. 808. That's kind of a magical number, right? 808. So let's see here. I'm ice skating on the page and making a big 808, which I also think is the area code for Hawaii, if I remember correctly. I have a friend that lives there, and up on the phone it says 808. So 808 is the number of people that are in the continuous line storytelling group, and I'm super proud, super proud. 8 has always been my number. As a child, I used to see dancing 8s over my head, over my bed. I was like, Mom, what are all these dancing 8s? And she's like, what the heck are you talking about? And I'm like, there's dancing 8s above my bed. And now I still see them occasionally. It's just the infinity sign. And I was seeing magic as a child, right? And nobody believed me. Whatever. Who cares? I can still see my own magic, and I don't care if anyone believes me or not. It's my magic, and no one else has to believe it except me. So I want to say thank you to everyone who's a part of the continuous line storytelling. It's something I'm super proud in. It's something that has saved my butt. It is something that has helped me grow as an artist, as an instructor, and as a community member of a wonderful art group, because there's no rules, there's no manifesto, there's no po-pos, there's no continuous line po-pos like there are in other things, right? So here, I'm just going to put a little heart in here too, because we want to finish big with a heart. Go easy on yourself, go easy on others. I'm having anxiety about living in Guanajuato, being in Guanajuato. I miss Mexico City, but that's all right. Just go easy on myself and go easy on others. There we go. 808 with a heart in the middle. Thank you to everyone who's a part of the community. I'll see the continuous liners in Zoom in about an hour. Have a great day. Stay tuned on my YouTube channel. I'll be posting drawing videos, okay? Thank you, everyone. Have a good day. Bye.